he told me straight up that my uterus, which is Milagosamo, was a bit damaged. It was damaged, not in a normal way. It was not in a good condition. It was bloated, it was swollen, it was having just dirty liquids inside of it. So I think that's why my accounting teacher told me that the problem that I have has got to do with witchcraft. And hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are well. So today guys, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking to you guys about PCOS. Basically, PCOS is an illness that I was diagnosed with back in 2017. So basically guys, when you have PCOS, you will face challenges with your menstruations. So it's either you have abnormal menstruations, irregular or absence of menstruation, could be sporting, or you have a light menstruation. So now on my case, I had abnormal menses. So I would menstruate like I would menstruate throughout, guys, throughout. Like I can't really be specific about how, but I would menstruate throughout, like unyaga. Like I wouldn't have like a day whereby, okay, today I'm not menstruating. No, it would be an ongoing thing. Like I menstruate each and every day, which is they were abnormal. The only way that would stop me in terms of not menstruating is obviously when I'm given pills by the doctor. You know, that is the only way that helped me in terms of controlling my menses. So I started having this problem back in high school when I was doing my grade 11. I was 17 years old at the time. So I started using contraceptives back in 2016, and I stopped using them end 2016, beginning year of 2017, around about that time. So just after I stopped using the contraceptives, a few months later, mid 2017, I had problems. Started having irregular periods. You know, I would menstruate throughout, I'd run out of pads. That's when I started noticing that I actually have a problem. Then I went to a public clinic to consult that I have this kind of a problem, I need help. So they gave me oral cons, these black and white contraceptive pills that are meant to regulate your menses, or they're meant to yeah, that's what they're meant to do. So in my case, they were meant to both regulate my menses and also guys. So now I use those pills, but little did I know they were contributing in terms of making a damage, because I don't know, man, it's explained in a very scientific way, Lando. When I went to visit my other doctor, they explained it. So they told me that the pills made a damage, you know, but I didn't know at that time because I was still young, and I hadn't told my aunt, which is my aunt, I was living with her at that time. So a few months later, I noticed that I'm not getting any better. Like this problem like keeps on going, you know. So 2018, when I was doing my grade 12, like it became severe, especially beginning year. Like it was severe. At that time, we then started visiting this other gynecologist in Malamed Private Hospital, Gatesville. So visited that gynecologist, but they would give me like contraceptive, loads and loads of contraceptive. So that doctor gave me cyclocaprons, yeah, he gave me truffle, he gave me, what's this other name, he gave me nodetas, yeah, he gave me nodetas. I started drinking. They weren't helping, guys. I promise you, they weren't helping. They would help me during the time that I'm having this problem, and after I finished using the medication, I'll start over again. Yeah, it was just a whole mess. So then I started having problems with my weight. I lost a lot of weight, because I know, because you lose a lot of blood, you will obviously lose weight. But like when the doctor explained it, he said that it's likely that I become obese, so it's likely that I have a weight gain if I have this problem. But I was losing weight, there was no weight gain at all. I started becoming dizzy when I'm in class at school, you know. I started becoming tired. Like I would get tired literally. I wouldn't be able to concentrate at school, you know, all those things. I was a very high energy person when it comes to my studies. 2017 I was doing well at school. I was part of the top students, you know, but when it came to 2018, when I was doing my I was becoming tired. Like I was tired every time. I wouldn't be able to study because I'm always tired. This thing was just draining me. Like it was just draining me, because imagine guys, you are menstruating each and every day. So my aunt became worried, because I was living with her at that time, as I had said. She became worried. We started visiting whole different churches, you know. We would go there to just to seek for help, you know. My aunt is a believer in general, but she really felt like she wasn't doing enough. So we started visiting a whole different churches, you know guys. It was just a whole mission. We was just like, we didn't find any like tangible thing that was able to help me at that time. And I was starting becoming demotivated in terms of my work at school, and it was a critical time because I was doing my grade 12. So there's just no way for me to get demotivated. That was the time where I had to push myself harder, you know, because it's my last year. I need to make myself proud, you know. I need to put on my A game, you know. But I was just not like in that position. Sometimes I wouldn't go to school. A lot of times I wouldn't go to school. I remember I wrote my first March tests. I didn't go to school for like a week because I was attending to my gynecologist in Malamed. I was attending to my gynecologist. I was admitted at hospital for like a day or two. Yeah, I don't remember, because I had when I was in class, double maths period class, I started feeling super dizzy. You know, almost when you're losing a lot of blood, you lose iron. So basically when you lose iron, you lose energy levels. So I was having like low energy levels. I started becoming dizzy. And then when the period ended, so when we were packing out things on our way out to our next period, I felt dizzy to a point whereby I almost fell. But luckily my friend Usive was just next to me. So just when I was about to fall, he then helped me out. That day they ran me to hospital. I was admitted. Yeah, man, it was just a whole, you know, they told me that I have low energies and my blood thingy is just not, this is scientific terms, man, but I'm just not okay in terms of like my igazi lam and weak. So it was just a whole, you know, emotional process, you know, for as 18 I was 17 at that time. For a 17-year-old, no, for an 18-year-old girl, I was 18 at that time. It was just a whole lot, and especially because I was in a very, you know, very tricky situation, because I was doing my grade 12. So I was in a position where I wanted the most of myself, but I couldn't get the most of myself because I was going through this condition that I was going through. So I couldn't give the most to myself in terms of my studies. So it's just very emotional. So and it was tricky as well, because I was not getting any help. And they told me straight up that this condition that I have is not a condition where it's not curable, but they can be able to prevent it. So they can be able to help me in terms of like regulating my periods, but they're not promising that it's curable. It's not going to get cured. So I started losing hope. I'm like, okay, this means that I'll basically live like this like for the rest of my life. It was just a whole mess, guys. It was just a whole mess. Went back to school. I didn't do well for my June exams. I don't want to lie, I didn't do well. I did very bad for a person who is a high student person. I did very well. I had like bad marks, you know. It was just a bad experience that year. Right. So I had this other teacher of mine, my accounting teacher. I can't mention him like specifically. So this other day you know, this other day. It was just a random day. He called me out after his lesson. I went straight to him. He asked me, can I ask you a question? It's a personal question, but I just want to know. I said, yes, you can ask. He was like, do you have a problem like that has got to do with your menstruation? I was like, yes, how do you know? You know, he was like, no, I can read through. I didn't know at that time that he was a traditional doctor. I didn't know. So he was like, I can read through. He didn't tell me exactly that he was a traditional doctor, but obviously it clicked to my mind that he's a traditional doctor. Because I mean, how did he know? And it was a very confidential illness. My aunt didn't like give in detail what was exactly the problem to my teachers, because it was a very confidential thing. But she did mention that I'm having a problem in regards to me having abnormal menstruation. So he told me, and I was like, yeah. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then that was just it. And then later on the day, my aunt, when we were on our way back to home, my aunt told me that, you know what, your accounting teacher told me that we should seek help. Either we do a ritual, or we visit a traditional doctor, or it's either we pray, because the problem that I have is not a normal problem. Even if I could go and find specialists in this problem that I have, you know, I will never get help, because it's a problem that is not a normal thing. It's not a scientific thing. It's just a problem. I was like, okay. And I had changed my gynecologist at the time. I stopped going to the Melamed gynecologist because he was just not helping me out. We started we found out this. So my aunt gave them the feedback that I'm just not getting any better, and we tried all the options that we thought of. We went to churches, like we visited a lot of pastors. We went to like best gynecologists in town, here in Cape Town. We are just not getting our help. So what should we do now? What's our next step? So Udabswam told them that my aunt, she told them that she had spoken to my accounting teacher, who is a traditional doctor, and he had told him that the problem that I have is not a matter of me going to best doctors or what. It is a problem that is very crucial. It is a problem that it has got to do with witchcraft. It does not need any doctors. It just needs me to either go to Itawe or either do a ritual, which is strongly advised, or go visit a traditional doctor. We had 3 options, of which we've already done later. You know, I know for a fact that you never get tired of praying and asking for God to intervene. You never get tired. But at that point, we were very anxious to a point whereby we felt like God's prayers were just not helping out, you know. So we wanted something, you know, when you just anxious, you just want something that's going to help now, you know. We just wanted something that was going to help me immediately at that point, because we've been going to doctors, been praying, nothing is happening. So my aunt suggested that because my accounting teacher has said this, and the problem that I have has witchcraft involved, why not I do a ritual, visit a traditional doctor? Yay, my parents were having none of that. Hey guys, they were having none of that. They were like, no, they don't believe in traditional doctors, they don't believe in rituals. It's just going to drag matters, you know, it's just going to make matters even worse. It was just, yay, they were just debating about what I had. They didn't want to hear about it. So they said, why don't I instead visit a homeopath? So there was this homeopath that my aunt knew about, who was Dr. Potelwa. He uses, his medication are not the normal medication that you usually get from the doctors. It's just more like imuti, yeah, it's more like that. They are traditional, it's a traditional medication. So because that doctor like costs loads of money, my dad asked me, are you going to be willing to drink the muti that you'll be given by the doctor? And I was not too sure about that, you know. I was just not too sure about that, but I just wanted to try anything out because I was just numb, I was impatient, and I was just tired of having the problem that I had. And at that time, it was just end year 2018. It was my final exam was coming up, and also my trial exam was coming up. So I just wanted any help because I didn't want to face any problems when I was about to write my trials and also my final exams. You know, I wanted to ace my exams, you know, so I just didn't want to come across any problems. So now I didn't eventually visit the doctor. I didn't eventually visit because my aunt told me that no, I'm not going to be able to stand the medication that he gives out, because she went to the doctor before and she knows how the medication goes, and she didn't want me to go through that. So we were like, okay, we're just gonna continue praying and we'll just continue going to this doctor of yours in UCT. So we continued going there. I then tried to sustain my problem using the contraceptives. I tried to at least sustain up until I finished my final exam. So my sister Unamita, she suggested that I should use Yasmin. Yasmin is a very good contraceptive that she had used before. She had a similar problem as to mine, and she used it and they helped her. So she was like, use this, it's going to help. So we went to the pharmacy. No, I asked my doctor to prescribe for me. She prescribed for me. Went to the pharmacy. I started drinking those pills, and they were just doing a pretty good job in terms of like regulating my periods. So then yeah, I finished my year, finished my exams. I did well. I did my trial. I did well on my trial exams. I even got two awards on my valedictory. Did well on my final exam. I got admitted to CBUT. I studied, and the problem was just going on and on and on. So I started using Yasmin. That's when I started using Yasmin for like December, January, February. At home, they were not saying anything about my problem because I was even tired of reporting that this problem is not stopping, it's ongoing. Let me just keep it cool. But then the problem it didn't mean that because I was not saying anything or my parents were not asking anything, it had ended. It kept going. It was just an ongoing problem. I was still on my menses, and I'd get dizzy from time to time, you know. Then I spoke to my other friend, Kazimla. She told me that I should visit this other homeopath called Dr. Potelwa. She had told me about the homeopath before, but because I was just going through a lot, I forgot about it. So we went to visit the doctor. That was February. Yeah, my sister Pumeza helped me out. We went to visit the doctor. The doctor is expensive but worth your while. He charges, sorry, he's a he, not a she. He charges 500 rands per consult. So, and even if like he says, please come back and we would love to see how your medication is going, or maybe we're going to give you more of the medication, he's still going to charge you 500 rands. So I visited the doctor. He did a pretty good job. I don't want to lie, but the most annoying part about that doctor is the fact that guys, I'd advise anyone who has a critical condition or crucial illness to visit that doctor. He's very good. His name is Dr. Potelwa. Search him on the internet, you'll find his details there. He's very good. That's all I can tell you guys. I'm talking about people here in Cape Town though. Like even if like you having a problem and you live in Eastern Cape, Gauteng, you can come here to Cape Town and go to that doctor, and I promise you won't regret yourself. He's a homeopath, so basically he's both a modern and a traditional doctor at the same time. So he did a pretty good job. Guys, he can consult about 60 to 70, 80 people a day. Luckily that day he consulted about 50 people, but I was one of the last people he consulted, you know. And I stayed like the whole day. I arrived there at about 8 o'clock and I left there at about 5 o'clock. Just imagine, that's how full he gets. So he helped me, gave me medication. He told me straight up that my uterus, which is was a bit damaged. It was damaged, not in a normal way. It was not in a good condition. It was bloated, it was swollen, it was having just dirty liquids inside of it. So I think that's why my accounting teacher told me that the problem that I have has got to do with witchcraft, and it's not a normal condition. Yeah, well, I think that's why he said that. I understood it even more when the traditional doctor told me that. So when he told me that, then I recalled that, oh, that's probably the reason why my accounting teacher told me that the problem that I have has got to do with witchcraft. Because how does your uterus contain liquids inside of it? Why? How does it happen? Dirty liquids even. And how does it get swollen? I just didn't understand. So I understood it even more when he explained it. And he didn't go deep into detail, but he told me that that is the reason why the gynecologists that I used to visit were not helping me out, because it was deeper than they thought. That's why the medication that they gave me weren't helping me out. So he gave me this traditional medication, but it's also mixed with the normal medication that you guys know of. So I started drinking the medication. The first week, the first 3 days of using the medication, I felt very sick, and I was very, very sick, guys. I felt like, hey, I'm dying. Like, just part of me was just, you're not okay. I felt very sick. I wanted to stop using the medication, and even my aunt was like, no, if this medication is going to make you sick, then we should stop using it. Yay, it was just not doing like a good job the first 3 days. Little did I know that the next 5 to 6 days I became better, and the medication was working very well, and I could see the progress. Okay, then I finished using that medication. I think it took about 2 weeks. Then the following 2 weeks, he said that I should go to do a checkup, and so that he can see how the medication worked and what he can do, like if he sees that I'm not okay. So I went there and I paid another 500 rands, which is I don't mind, because I wanted to be fine, and I was happy about okay. And then he gave me another medication, same medication as the one he gave me before. So after I finished using the medication, I saw that, hey, I'm stopping menstruating. Hey guys, I became excited, and I didn't want to be too excited, because I was like, oh, if I become too excited and then I go back to school, what's going to happen? I'm going to get disappointed, you know. But then when I stopped using the medication, when my medication was finished, I saw that I'm fine. So I wanted to check out if I was really, really, really fine. A month went by, and I was doing okay. I was having regular periods. I was menstruating 4 times a month. Okay, the following I wanted to check myself the following month. Still, the following month I was menstruating 4 times still, but I didn't have like a specific day of my menstruation. So the day that I started menstruating the previous month was not the same day I started menstruating the next month. So I think at that time my menses were starting to get into balance, but they were just figuring out a way, you know. That's how umzimba works, The next month I menstruated the same day as the previous month, four times within a month. And then I just kept on menstruating the same days, 4 times a month. Then that's when I saw, oh okay, I'm fine now. I was super excited, guys. I felt like I was going to tell or inkomo, you know. I felt like he did something that no one else could have done, and I felt like he saved me from so much, you know. He saved me from so much, guys. He saved me from a lot, not just the illness that I had, but self-doubt, because I started having self-doubt. Even when I got into a relationship, I had self-doubts, because I'm like, is this person going to love me because I'm is he going to understand my illness, you know. I had self-doubt, and because I lost a lot of weight, I was very thin. People were like having obviously opinions about my weight loss, so that's another thing that contributed to my self-doubt, although I didn't show it because I'm a very high confident person and I don't show my emotions, you know, to people. I always, you know, how you see me is how you think I am, whereas in Mflambi I'm not fine, you know. So I had self-doubt, I don't want to lie. So he helped me in terms of being fine through my illness, being fine emotionally, like my self-esteem, like I gained a lot of self-esteem like after I was fine. Like everything just went back to normal, confidence, you know, more than anything. And also lando yobana, and I became motivated to do other things as well, focus more on my studies. It just, you know, it was into position. So yeah, okay guys, I think I'm done giving you in brief not in brief, giving you in detail what I was going through. So guys, now it was a very emotional thing, I don't want to lie, and I'm so glad I overcame it. So like now I'm gonna give you guys in detail what happens when a person has PCOS. So as I had said before, that when you have PCOS, you will have abnormal menstruation, absence menstruation, head menstruation, irregular menstruation, short and light menstruation, or spotting when it comes to menstrual. And then when it comes to weight, you will have obesity, overweight, weight gain, of which I didn't have that. I had weight loss, very like weight loss. And then also common, you will have infertility. So when it says infertility, it means that you might not get pregnant. But now guys, you will have acne. I had acne. It doesn't mean that because these things are written here you will have like zonke. No, that doesn't mean. You might have some of the things that I mentioned here. So you might have acne. I did have acne, as you can see guys. I have acne here, and I also have acne here. So that's what you're going to face. You will have depression. I think I had depression even if it was not much, but I think I had depression. And inappropriate male features. I don't have male features. I didn't have male features. Loss of scalp hair. I just have loss of scalp hair. Oily skin. No. Unwanted hair. Yes, maybe unwanted hair. I'm a very hairy person. So I don't know if it's caused by the PCOS or what. I don't know. I'm like hairy all over. Guys, and you know, yeah. And then treatment consists of hormones. We're moving to the treatment part. So the treatment part means that you need to have, because this thing is not curable, you can prevent it. But now I'm cured. I went to, because my problem is this problem, but a bit different, because it involved like is in dark, you know. So I think but it involved that are not scientific, like witchcraft things. That's why I think so it might be a scientific issue. So like, but she's going to be able to get like prevention, not to get cured. So medication that you're gonna get, it differs. I don't wanna give you that information, but yeah, okay guys, so that's what you should look out for if you're having symptoms. So guys, you have to look out if you have like symptoms of this. I would advise you to go consult a doctor so that you know what you're going through. Yeah, well, I did speak to a couple of people on my Facebook, and they told me that they had like the same problem as mine. They are facing similar problem as mine, and I was like, they should go consult a doctor, because now I didn't have much information as to how they can get help, because now I'm done. So if you have the similar symptoms, I do strongly advise that you go visit a doctor. So yeah, okay guys, good. I'm tired now. I'm happy about the fact that you watched this video, and you can learn a thing or two on this video, and it might help you now. I am gonna include the homeopath that I went to, Dr. Potelwa's information on the description box below. So yeah, you can comment down and ask me anything. I will be glad to answer. So please don't forget to subscribe, guys. Please also hit the like button. I love you guys. Bye.